basketball and sprinting in attack mode.
J.R. Smith, who has continued his lack of...
He's a guy he's a proven scorer in this league, especially when he gets it going. He's a handful for anybody.
He was 3 of 10 last night in the game against the Lakers. Matt Barnes takes it back the other way. 9.5 assists, 4th in the league right now. Everything runs through him. Great point guard matchup with Irving and Paul tonight.
And coaching against him, that's a shot you want him to take. You don't mind him dominating the game from the perimeter. The problem is when he's tearing down the rim and dominating the paint area. If you're Doc Rivers, Doc wants a good mixture of both.
J.R. Smith the miss, but what else? Thompson will turn 24 in March. It's the 11th time he is 7 in a row for Thompson. Barnes hit one from that spot. James reacts to him. And Griffin again, mid-range jumper for Blake. 3-second violation as Mozgov and Tristan Thompson got tied up in the paint. There's DeAndre Jordan fighting Mozgov for the rebound, and he puts it back in.
Now, it's probably
he did last year and again this year. It would be certainly worthy of the recognition, knowing full well we have DeMarcus Cousins putting up great numbers.
I argue the case, even if it was the old-fashioned way. Dwight Howard would win in voting, or Marc Gasol, and the other guy would get in.
So are you telling me that Mark Jackson's All-Star ballot, you can go online, NBA.com, and
as before him. But I tell you what, matching up against him in the playoffs, he is a tough task. How he protects the paint, rebounds, and then runs as good as any center we've seen. Yes, you're right. Way to figure that out.
James off on the 3. There's the hit ahead, but it was deflected, and J.R. Smith keeps it for the Cavs. And Irving will try a 3 and knock it down. Kyrie, it's the first time we've worked together in some 4 seasons.
No, you just didn't know. I'd watch, football and basketball, and I would
tie this one at 12. Cleveland played in here last night against the Lakers. Very odd to have the back-to-back with the 2 LA teams, but it is work player than many thought he would. He has that great start. First quarters, in large part, Epe Udoh will come out and rebound for him. A series of shots that he takes before the end. Good defensive wall in front of the rim by the Cavs, led by Mozgov. Thompson, blocked by Jordan. James had great hit-ahead pass to J.R. Smith for the dunk. That's part of the growing pains of this Cleveland team at 20 and 20. There goes James. In the swirl of all the conversation, with this 20 and 20 team shy of expectations, they've lost 9 of their last 11. J.R. Smith. Mike Miller's come in for the Cavs, the last dead ball. Paul, tricky pass in the tight spot.
Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan, defensively, they absolutely get it.
Mozgov denied on one end. Paul miss, and the putback for Blake. Tight space, tough catch. On the turnover, the push by Irving at Griffin. Wow, he's such a good at the rim, Mark.
You can make the case he's the best finisher in basketball around that paint area. He gets it as far as scoring the basketball.
The other end, Clippers up by 1. Lob to Mozgov. Came over from Denver in this Cavs team.
Well, I said it before, and people thought I was taking a shot at an individual. I think to a certain extent, rim protectors are overrated. At the end of the day, what's important is by taking charges in rotation. Charles Oakley, as good as it gets, weak side helping. It had nothing to do with him blocking shots to the rim. So I think Mozgov is a guy that knows how to defend. He has tremendous size. Forget about what he does as far as protecting the rim. Bring him out here, and now I'm going to get a quality look every time.
Been involved in a lot the last couple of minutes. It's a 2-on-1, Paul and Barnes. Been around your son or your daughter in any sports, there's that special connection. You coach them a little bit harder, a little bit different. This is a different story, though. It's at the highest level of the sport, as LeBron reminds us.
Because I got kids and you got kids, and it's not the same rules, unfortunately, for our kids growing up. But what a
3 minutes. Pass hit Spencer Hawes. The hit ahead from Rivers to Griffin. As well. Doing a good job trapping LeBron, getting it out of his hands when he's working outside the arc. Dellavedova fighting over Rivers. Got the rebound and scores. Dellavedova averaging 4.5. Most of his shots have come from 3-point range. this year. Speaking of which, in Europe did lead the Olympic Russian efforts for the bronze medal, but certainly a lot of questions asked the first half of this season. Was
been disappointing. And you look at this, the Lakers last night, a 31-point quarter, another 31-point quarter. Then you start this ball game as Jamal Crawford delivers it. That's a recipe for disaster.
It has not been good on the defensive end for this Cavs team. Of course, losing so many games with LeBron out, and James knocks down, sitting on 7 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Dellavedova trying to chase Crawford. Now the veteran Sean Marion, who did not play last night. He works his way back into the lineup from injury. Spencer Hawes, free agent addition for the Clippers in this offseason.
And hasn't played well. Started off very well. Good pass by Dellavedova.
Tristan Thompson comes away with it, 5-on-4 as LeBron pushes. And here is Mike Miller. 2-point shots he has attempted. The majority of his shots go. Mario, it was actually a week ago tonight, the Pistons hosting Atlanta, and that stopped the Detroit win streak, but that was a very good game as those two teams remain hot. Atlanta at the top of the East. James knocks down.
Putting together a run. Brandon Jennings playing great basketball.
Kyrie Irving checking in to try to stop an 11-1 Cavs run. Spencer Hawes had Irving, couldn't get to the basket. Rivers
sitting in the Western Conference playoff bracket. You don't want to see the Thunder in the first round. I don't care who you are. You don't want.
5th turnover for the Cavs. David Blatt very concerned about that turnover margin here tonight. Paul wanted the foul, got the rebound. Jordan the putback. 5th turnover for the Cavs. David Blatt very concerned about that turnover margin here tonight. Paul wanted the foul, got the rebound. Jordan the putback.
Wow. I mean, what else can you say? Just his impact is unbelievable.
Irving couldn't finish. The Cavs crashed the glass, trying to keep it alive. And Irving does to Thompson. They're in the mecca of basketball where fans and how awful the Knicks have been. Brooklyn has not been much better. Sitting at 16-23 going into now, although they beat the Wizards by 22. So Ronnie Cycli, any old Big East 80s references right around your time, but I'm glad you noticed. Paul knocks down the 3.
Great coach, but he told the truth, and I appreciate his honesty.
Barnes a corner 3, and back-to-back 3s for the Clippers.
Stories told you greater and greater,
Late clock, J.R. Smith ready to launch over J.J. Redick. So rare that you see Blake Griffin from close. So often he goes out of his way to dunk it.
The hands of a receiver. That's a tough catch, but catches it, but couldn't finish.
Treatment this afternoon here at the arena, but they had to shut him down. It just wasn't right, Mike.
Yeah, Los Angeles native, born in Santa Monica. Of course, his dad played for the Lakers for a brief time. Barnes in transition. Went small. Love was not on the floor, and you're talking a player who's an all-star performer. Odd to see him not on the floor when it mattered. Thompson the rebound inside.
Now, you don't want a steady diet if that happens. I'm not going to co-sign that. But you got to make sure you communicate with players. Explain to them why I went. But here's the question, what the player is thinking. Would you have done the same thing if it was LeBron James? And that's everybody, then you can't just nitpick, and it makes it tough. And you're talking about a guy that's going to make a decision whether to be a free agent and stay in Cleveland.
James trying to beat the defense down, has it knocked away, thought he was fouled. Griffin on the push. Redick hot in this quarter. Clippers by 1 here at the 2-minute mark of the half. Kyrie Irving. You played an era with great point guards as well. When you look at the era right now of point guards, could this be the golden age at that position?
We both convinced each other that's what we're going to stick with.
What was it that you guys did better? I'm curious. Did you guys get 8? They went up north and beat Toronto by 21 tonight.
I will say this. I heard somebody say, well, the question was in a tease, is this the best Hawk team ever? The question was, is this the best Hawk team ever? Please slow down. Let's be respectful to the great Hawk teams, and let this thing play out. This is a very good Hawk team.
Tristan Thompson works inside over Hawes and scores.
And if you're Kyrie Irving, make him pick the basketball up. You're doing him a favor by allowing him to eat clock. Just preserve the clock.
Hawes.
The big with those type of mistakes.
2008.
You know, the luxury of your Cavs right now, LeBron is talking to Kyrie, deciding who's going to bring it
Against the Lakers.
And, you know, David Blatt is 100% right. It's LeBron James. I'll let you take it from here.
With Jordan, I think Mozgov had a good first half.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
You know, he's a big guy that takes up a lot of space, can attack the offensive rebounds, right on point. Just disrupts a lot. That's a 7-foot. I don't know how big Mozgov is, but
7'1".
that's 7'1". You know, and he jumps.
It was the highlights and the dunks. Now going to become more of a complete player at the 4. Pass by Paul, deflected. Open floor, Thompson at Redick. Nice off the glass for
in the pick and roll, active hands. You know, so he created the steal. Good execution in transition by Thompson.
Space with the Jordan screen. And there's that. I was out of bounds on a turnover. They try to turn it into a live ball turnover. They get the ball back and they push it quick. And they're in only 5-second pace.
That's when they're at their best.
Irving, that is so good. Maybe he'll get a hockey assist. One more. 2:30 Eastern. Perhaps you saw that on the schedule early on and you said, oh, it doesn't really sound like a great game. Well, here 25 their record now. Matter of fact, one of the low points of the Cavs in this stretch before they hit the road as Irving knocks down the 3 to put Cleveland. James put on all the moves. Couldn't complete the shot. And Paul finds Redick. Griffin free. Jordan at the rim. Clippers on the push, and Irving tried to put the stop sign up. Blake goes all the way anyway. Look out, Paul the stick. Totally with you. I just award him and applaud him, and I know the free throw shooting is still an issue, but he knocks one block the other night, making them all from the field. 8 for 8 from field goal range. James attacks, put the elbow in Griffin's chin. Transition defense and communication on defense has not been his team in town.
I'm glad that you told the folks that as Beyonce walked by, you said, who's that? But I'm going to let you off.
Because I am very high in street cred, as you know. Mark Tristan Thompson at the line for 2. Of course, he went to Texas. We got a big event. And we'll follow that in the SEC a little bit later on with Kentucky and Alabama. So you'll see the #1 team in the land. You'll see Duke, see Louisville.
Sure that you use the proper wisdom as far as game, the flow of the game. Do they have a great offensive? It's a tough decision, but you certainly talk about it as a staff, and then you read it come game time.
Jordan now has to guard James. Floor is spaced. Lob to the rim for Thompson.
Basketball, if he wants to, no question, will be a future coach in this league.
So he split the pair all 3 times. Awful to watch. Back-to-back All-Star games. Rookie of the Year in 2012. MVP of the All-Star game, Kyrie Irving. We'll have one more. Homestand starts with Chicago on that Martin Luther King evening and wraps up a Sunday afternoon.
The team, you make a mistake and think, okay, we've got a bunch of games at home. It's going to get right. No, it's going to get right when you do the things to allow you to get it right.
4th year.
Well, the luxury to have a guy that's an extension of you on the floor, taking care of the basketball and running the offense.
Where you are, there was a time, Mark, when if we would have come into here, the Staples Center in mid-January, and said, here the Clippers are 26-13, and before that 26-13. So this is the 3rd straight year they've been the last couple of years.
It's been frustrating at times because they haven't played their best basketball, but talking to Doc Rivers the other night as Dellavedova knocks down Sam Cassell, who was with the Washington Wizards, underneath his belt. You talk about
he had with Wall and Austin Rivers. Doc's son, who just checked into the game, said that's one of the things he's most excited about is Irving drives and gets the basket and the chance.
Shooting contest,
right? The other tries to intervene.
And I've watched, everybody answer, the experts on both sides of it, saying it was a big deal, it wasn't a big deal. I really don't know what was behind it. As Tristan Thompson, another move in the paint area.
Somehow it finds Crawford. Rebound, Hawes inside. Guarded by Austin Rivers. Irving.
Not allowing LeBron to get downhill.
There's 8 turnovers for LeBron James here tonight. Jamal both sitting in the 6th spot in their respective conferences as we hit the halfway point of the 82. And Sean Marion gets Austin Rivers defends LeBron.
By the Cavs, and it starts with the best player, LeBron, making plays on both sides of the basketball.
Crawford on the attack and one. Terrific. 6th man of the year twice in his career. Now Rivers trying to deal with Kyrie Irving, went under on that screen. We talked about the father-son part of the Austin this week, and then just stayed in New Orleans and waited word for what was going to happen. Off the miss, James on the attack, banging a bucket, LeBron. Clippers and Doc Rivers here, 9:07. Austin Rivers, Spencer Hawes to the bench. LeBron side board, Sean Marion lost the handle. Crawford past Dellavedova, lob Jordan.
Both teams.
Irving, a 3, Kyrie. Coming to set a screen here. Deflected. Chased by Dellavedova and James. Barnes and one. Win for the Cavs to get back-to-back wins here in LA before going home for 10 of their next 14.
It's a big win if they can leave here as another play made by rebound.
Cavaliers have 14 fouls here, Mark, in the 4th, still half the quarter to play. 2 on Los Angeles. They left James free, and LeBron now. One more. 22 of 36 in a lot of the bench activity during the season here for the Cavs. A different look because in Blatt you have an inexperienced NBA head coach.
Well, also not Tyronn Lue. Some not patient enough to want to play out the process and wait for the opportunity. If you're David Blatt, you've got to let everybody know this is my show. I'm going down with folks knowing that this is my show.
Oh my goodness! Dellavedova will involve Jamal Crawford, but Barnes recovered. Late shot clock, LeBron, gotta go, it's 3. Got them all! One more for Griffin.
But this guy here, when you think about chasing down all-time leading scorer, he'll be a top 5 assist man in the history of the game. True.
Griffin, James has 4 fouls. Blake Griffin, 56 in March, and Blake Griffin, one of the cornerstones of this Clippers franchise, a 30. Crawford knocks down the 2 free throws. Mark.
They're getting good looks out of it.
Marion the flash. Thompson's free inside, couldn't find him. Late clock, Kyrie. Irving with 37. Griffin comes to set the screen for Paul. Reddick's coming off the curl, wasn't open. Paul hit the 2.
So the options of Paul, and he's playing that way.
Okay, 9 on the shot clock. Irving trying to fight to get free. Bullet pass inside to Thompson, and 1! Tristan Thompson, season high, 24 points. But back-to-back wins over the Lakers and Clippers will send this team home confidently. Not done yet. 7-point game. Griffin inside. James doesn't foul. It's no pressure free throws here. Cavs do have timeouts, got to get it over, and they do to Marion, but Griffin knocked it away from Marion. Big 3. Nope, they'll go the 2, and Griffin with the dunk.
And you see the pressure, the turnover here. You've got numbers here. Jamal Crawford has a wide open 3. Blake Griffin can get the offensive rebound. They turn it.
Big free throw. Eventful 5-game West Coast trip. They had lost the 3 leading up to it. It became a 6-game losing streak with losses at Golden State.